Well, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thought I'd give you guys a little update on what's going on in the shop. I've got a lot of stuff going on out here. And first of all, there's just a bunch of junk sitting everywhere because I'm currently in the process. I redid my room, so there's a lot of stuff in my room out here. Got the desk cleaned up somewhat. It's still trash, but at least it's a lot better. So guess that heater's gonna explode. Oh well. It's not, it does that every once in a while. I've had this heater right here for like 5 years and I've had no problems with it at all. It just recently, like today, it just started making that little, well, you guys heard that little whining noise, but, or at least I heard something. Maybe I'm the one going crazy. But anyway, we have the Thermo King inverter here. This is like kind of like a grid tie. Well, it's not really a grid tie. It's more of a UPS, uninterruptible power supply. So line voltage comes in here, and then this is your load side. That goes and feeds these two plugs and the AC. It's really cool because if it's on, it also does sorry, someone sent me a text. Anyway, as I was saying, line voltage comes in here and line voltage comes out here. Now if this is on, you can see right here we're on utilities and then the battery and then a fault. So when I shut the generator off outside, it'll switch over to battery automatically. It does it all by itself. It's 1500 watts or 1600, something like that. Here is the solar power. So the solar power grew a little bit. I now have 2 charge controllers to take care of the power needs out here. I've got 2 big batteries down there. I don't know what the amp hours are on them, but they're really big batteries. I have some allergies, so don't mind me. I've got a fuse block here, distribution block. I don't know what happened here. I guess one of them melted at some point in time, but I'm not using that anymore. I have 15 amp fuses. This is the lighting circuit right here. I'm going to change that one out to like a 7.5 or a 10 or something. Oh, my allergies. Anyway. Got a 12 volt power socket here that's not hooked up because the wiring was hooked up to something else at some point. So I'm probably actually going to run this directly to the battery, and then I'll have an inline fuse down here just for this though. All my stuff's fused, so all the charge controllers are fused as they go into the batteries. So as you can see, I have an inline fuse down there that protects this charge controller from exploding. And then I have the heaters here. So these 2 fuses control each heater. So that's one heater and that's the other heater. I don't remember which one is which though, so your guess is as good as mine. I just have some random wiring that I'm going to clean all this up today. I'll show you when I get it all done. I need to put more insulation up in the shop because it's not very insulated and there's some pieces that are missing. But the reason why I have 2 charge controllers here is because outside here, and don't let the bright colors fool you, it is actually cold. Out here I have a 100 watt solar panel from Harbor Freight. I've got my 3 15 watt solar panels here from Harbor Freight. And then this is the other charge controller because what I've got going on here, these are 12 volt panels. Actually about 18 volts. Anywhere from 12 to 18. So these are all those. Now, these solar panels right here are all 24 volts. And you can't, well you can, but you shouldn't mix 12 and 24 volt solar panels. So I have them separated and they run over here. This tarp blew into the garbage. See, look at all this garbage. It's nasty, filthy. And this is the diesel tank that I'm going to tie both heaters into eventually. There's a big, huge wasp nest. It looks like there's one that came back. So I'll have to get more spray for them. I got to get rid of all these weeds. That's where the solar power comes in. It runs in through the, so these ones, they run in through this gray conduit, rubber tube looking stuff. And then, which is right here on the ground, as you can see, it kind of snakes everywhere. And this is just some wiring that I had. I hooked this up real fast, so I was trying to see if it all worked. And it does, so that's good. So the top one is the Harbor Freight set, and the bottom one is the Thermo King set. Sadly, I think I broke that 40-watt solar panel the other day, so I'll have to fix that. It's currently 68 degrees in here. It's starting to feel really nice. It was 42 in here this morning, and I was stupid enough to walk out in shorts. So anyway, so that's that. That's the setup. Then the heaters over here. This is my primary one. This one sees probably. Oh, I would say this one. I would say that one over here only sees a fourth of the use as this one does. This is literally the primary one because the exhaust pipe is vented on this side of the shop. So when I'm out here in the yard working, I can actually hear my music. I have an outside speaker over here. I've got 3 fog machines that I'm working on a project on those. This is the Harbor Freight Predator 3500 watt inverter generator. This thing's been absolutely amazing. I haven't had any problems with it. I had one problem with it, but I think it's because my dad watered it with the sprinklers and it didn't want to start one day. Like, literally, the electronics and stuff were, because he turned on the sprinkler over here for like an hour one day, and it was like spraying everything. Like that generator, I had to pull the spark plug and drain all the water out of the engine. Because, yeah, I don't know why you have to water the yard for an hour, but whatever, it doesn't matter. That thing's super nice, and it's super quiet. I can run that any time of the day. Compared to the old 3500 watt that's over there, that died, blew up. Anyway, and this is the time of season around my house where I run the heaters during the morning and I run the ACs during the evening. I think today is going to be not that warm. Let's see what else. Fire alarm system's all the same. We have emergency exit lights and emergency lights. They're all tied into the generator, so they're not tied into this system at all. They're tied in directly to the generator, so the generator shuts down and turns them on. UPS right there, the uninterruptible power supply for the laptop. I got rid of the desktop over here because it was just taking up way too much space on the desk. And now I have a nice radio over here. And we're going to be redoing a lot of the electrical because the electrical's not really up to code. There's no staples right here for anything. So we're gonna redo all of it. And I'm thinking of probably taking this one and routing it like around the wall here. It's kind of hard the way the shop's set up, but you know me, I'll figure it out. Fire panel. This is another propane heater. So I use these two. So this one only gets used when the temperature is super cold in here and I want to bring it up super fast. I just added this duct today that goes under the desk, so it vents out onto the floor. I figured that's probably the smart way because heat rises, so up on the ceiling, you can hear the vent fans are running. I've got 2 of them. There's one right above the desk, and one right here. They are controlled by this switch here, and they are ran by the generator as well. So everything, sorry, my allergies are getting to me today. Everything in this panel runs off the generator, and I'm hoping to get another one, and I'll have them paired up so they have like 240 coming into this panel. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same. And I gotta get a splice box or a junction box for that, because that's not very safe. So to fix that. As far as the floor goes, I do want to redo the floor, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that for now. I just want to get it cleaned up. So it's got a bunch of stuff everywhere. It's a lot better than it was. Getting things organized, but it's still a mess. This is like 8 years of garbage built up in here, so we're gonna be taking care of that. So now that it's reaching 70, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one off. So that's how you just turn those off. And you do the same thing on this. I'll show you. Just hold the off buttons. Shuts them off. I'm actually gonna be cleaning this one, taking it all apart and cleaning it, and I'll show you all that when I do it. But this is the 12-volt panel here, so this controls the radio, this controls the lights, and this controls some outside lights. So these lights out here, it controls those lights up there. Those are ran by the generator, that one right there. That's a really bright, that's a 300 watt LED, and it is sure bright out here. So now that the, it's still cold, it's starting to warm up a little bit out here. It is October 2nd, and 2021. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this generator off now. So unplug the load first, which is this big. I always forget what they're called. I believe it's an L530. And shut it off. And that right there's the shop. Oh, right there. And that's another light that runs on that switch. But we're gonna have the solar power take over. This is the vent for the diesel heater. I am gonna get a longer stack for this, and I'm gonna actually get something different. It's still pretty warm, but I want to get something different, something that looks a little better than this bent up piece of junk. And as you can see, there it is. It ties in right here through, these are like $60, $70 on Amazon, but you need these if you are going to put them through walls and stuff, because they're like a triple insulated type of pipe. As you can see, I can hold my hand on it. You can hear it's still running. It's on low, but you do need those if you're gonna run them through. It's basically like having a wood stove. I have to run a special insulated wood stove pipe. This isn't. This is just a single wall pipe on this wood stove. But anyway, before this video gets too long, I'll just end it. Show you some more projects today. I'll be up to.